I'll call the meeting to order and do the roll call.
Clark. Here. Fish. Here. Johnson.
Here.
Jorgensen.
Here.
Cole.
Here.
Steen.
Here.
Mayor Buck.
Here. We've got the agenda in front of you. Look for a motion.
Just one change item under old business. Lloyd Companies have withdrawn their sales tax rebate request.
Any other additions or corrections to the agenda? I'll look.
Approve it. Second.
Motion and a second to approve the amended agenda. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Aye. Motion carries. Approval of the minutes from the March 30 and April 3rd meetings.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the minutes. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Claims on page 15 through 17. Had a chance to look them over. Any discussion?
Move to approve. Second.
Motion and a second to approve the claims. That includes a wage adjustment for Paul Clark and Austin.
That's a
Excuse me.
separate motion.
We'll do those separately, okay? All in favor of the consent of the claims?
Aye.
Opposed? Consent calendar, excuse me,
There we go.
I jumped ahead. The consent calendar includes the wage adjustment for Clark and Peterson.
Second.
Motion and second to approve the consent calendar. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Visitors and timed items. If there is anyone that would like to address the council on any particular issue that's not on the agenda or is on the agenda, I don't see any, so we'll move on. We have public hearing. The first responders proclamation. I have a proclamation that I'd like to read about our first responders here in Brandon. Whereas first responders provide vital services to the residents of Brandon and that includes the emergency medical personnel, firefighters, police officers, and members of other organizations in the public safety sector. And whereas first responders are highly trained and undergo extensive education, training, and personal sacrifice to develop the expertise to respond to emergency situations. And whereas they respond to emergencies without hesitation when the call of duty arises and tirelessly give of their time and energy by making themselves available every hour of every day. Whereas it is appropriate to recognize the duties and services that first responders perform for the city of Brandon, therefore I, Harry Buck, Mayor of the city of Brandon, South Dakota, do hereby urge the citizens of this community to recognize the service of all first responders in their service to the city of Brandon, and encourage all residents to show their first responders how much their service is valued in our community. That being said, I'm always very proud of our police department. I think we have the safest city in the state. Something certainly to be proud of. The police department does a terrific job. Our emergency medical folks also do a great job. I think our average response time is, I think we get a paramedic to your door in about 5 to 7 minutes. I doubt if there's any city in the state that's any better than that, and so we have that to be proud of. And then the volunteer fire department. I just can't say enough about how much I appreciate the volunteer fire department. Chief Doctor, I'd like to have you come up real quick, if you could. There's an organization called the Ed Paul Zine Fund that would like to make a donation. This is kind of the time of the year when the fire department's in their fundraising session. So the Ed Paul Zine Fund gave me this check that I'd like to present to you for the fire department.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Picture. Action picture.
Do I got to come out? All right.
Thank you again.
Now you're going to look so thin. Okay. Old business is being removed, Lloyd Company, so we don't really need to deal with that issue. I'm thankful that they have agreed to go ahead and withdraw their ask, and so that's terrific. Standing committee reports, golf course, seasonal employees on page 24. Do we need a motion for that?
Correct.
All right. Motion and second to approve the seasonal employees. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Retaining wall project change order on page 25 through 27. I'll look for a motion on that. Tammy, go ahead.
As you know, the golf course parking lot is in really rough shape. Right above the access road that is part of the project to replace is in really poor condition. There's a lot of ruts and the concrete or the asphalt's just breaking apart. And so this would add asphalt to the project, just in that hatched area there that's shown on the screen. And that's just under about $32,000.
Okay.
So the rest of the road was already scheduled to be done, yes?
Yes.
Basically from the hatch part down the
Down
hill?
the hill. Yep.
Okay.
I was on the call Thursday, but I couldn't hear everything that was said about why we don't do that ourselves, because we have a machine that could do asphalting, right?
We do. They're going to be there. A couple of reasons. They're going to be there. You know, they've got the expertise. There's going to have to be some sub-base dug out, which they can do a heck of a lot quicker with their backhoe than ours. Ours is a little tractor-mounted one, whereas theirs is relatively large. And then the other thing that causes me always concern when you have a cold joint, so where they would stop their project, and we would come in at a later date and do the rest of it, you'd have a cold joint there between the two asphalt, which anytime there's a joint in pavement, whether it's concrete or asphalt, that's a weak point. So water gets in there and causes issues. So it's much easier. That's what they do. It's not a bad price for what they do. We probably couldn't do it any cheaper.
Do we ever use our asphalt machine? What's it called? It probably.
Asphalt machine.
Okay.
Paver. We do. We have in the past. Typically, we've used it when we were doing the patching. You know, the overlays, not the massive overlays, but if we're doing patching, which we bid out for the first time this year. Other than that, we've always used the patching machine when we would go out and mark up the areas to be patched. We'd cut those out, and then we'd come in with the paver.
Okay, we're still looking for a motion.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the retaining wall project change order. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The motion carries. We'll move on to Parks and Rec. The park report is on page 28. Tennis court lights, we are still working with the school. Did
We
we
need
get
a
that?
motion on the. Oh, yep. Never mind. I'm ahead now.
Okay. The tennis court lights, you're working with the school on that yet? Okay. And then we've got the family treats request to sell products at the parks.
Yep.
Any discussion? It's on page 29, the backup material.
I move to approve.
That would be contingent on them getting a peddler's permit, right?
Yeah, they have one.
They do, okay.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. My motion carries. Public safety, the police reports on 30 and 32. Fire department reports on 33. Hearing any discussion, any thoughts? We'll move on. Administration, communication reports on 34. The certificates of election, we have those.
Yeah, no motion needs to be made. It's like it in the minutes of the certificates election were handed out. Kevin is not here, but I'll get his to him here this week.
Okay. The Ward 3 vacancy. We've had one person
Correct. We had one application.
turn in an application,
Yep.
and
I'd like to make a motion to nominate Mr. Bruce Johnson, I believe it is, Johnson,
all right.
to fill that vacancy.
Motion and second to appoint Bruce Johnson for Ward 3 vacancy. That will be for 1 year. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Health insurance renewal. Give a little backup on that.
Yeah, we got our insurance renewal. Typically, we take a look at these in June, but the increase, if you can ever call them good, is a 1.35% increase, which is very good news.
Oh,
It's about 90,000 under budgeted amount for health insurance premiums for the year. That would be effective July 1st.
terrific.
Were our claims significantly down?
You know, no, they weren't really. They were down. I shouldn't say. They were down,
Let there be
but
light.
not a huge amount. So I was, looking at the page. Where is it? The breakdown on page 45. Underwriting and group considerations actually decreased 1.8%. So I was expecting to see this massive reduction in claims, but there wasn't much.
Okay.
I move to approve.
Second.
Motion and second to approve the 23 health insurance renewal. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Streets, the work report was handed out before the meeting. Water and sewer, water tower pay app, number 21 on page 46 to 50.
They continue to do some small site cleanup stuff. They're also doing some of the electrical work and whatnot inside of the tower. The painting contractor plans to be on site May 1st to start prepping the tower for paint, but note that it needs to be warm and no wind. So
Yeah.
we'll see how soon they can actually get started.
And what's considered warm?
I think it just needs to be over that 40 degrees, but it has to be, at night too, so.
Okay. I'll look for a motion on the water tower pay app.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Water meter project pay app on 51 to 53.
The water meter project change out is almost done. All the residential will be done by the end of this week. We did post 11 residential homes this morning kind of for their final notice. So if they don't make an appointment by Thursday, they'll get shut off. And then next week they're doing some of the larger meters, so some of the businesses and stuff. But we should be wrapped up by the end of the week, next week.
Okay. I'll look for a motion.
Second.
Motion and second to approve the water meter project pay app. Any other discussion?
Yeah. I just wanted to say to whoever's doing it, they're doing a fantastic job. Because I went online and made an appointment. They came in and changed my water meter. It was 5 minutes. They were in and out. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
Nice job.
Same thing at our office. I mean, they were just in and out. Didn't take them any time at all, so.
We'll pass it on.
Yep, I will pass it on.
So we have a motion to approve. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Water treatment plant pay app. Tammy.
They are in full swing for construction. They are moving a lot of dirt. So they are definitely getting the site ready to put in their walls and footings and everything. So pay applications will start to increase quite a bit here.
I would move to approve. Second.
Motion and a second to approve the water treatment plant pay app. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We don't have any new business. We don't need an executive session.
Just a couple of housekeeping items. One, food pantry. Is anybody interested? If so, get a hold of Christina, because I think they're going to need confirmation pretty soon.
Yes.
And then Loyalty Day Parade. If anybody wants a golf cart, contact Andrew. And let us know, because we'll get you some candy. Yep.
Okay.
Might not hurt to let the new council member maybe know too. You will. Yeah.
Any other discussion? I'll look for a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion second to adjourn. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We are adjourned.